Udah mulai standby.
Gue baru mau bilang kok ini meja Alex lagi full senyum tau gak? Karena Alex datang-datang udah senyum-senyum, berarti tidak akan ada gebrakan-gebrakan yang diberikan.
Sebenarnya ya menang kalah mereka nanti tulus kan, cuman ini menentukan buat seat juga.
Iya. Nggak cuy. Apapun yang terjadi, mau Alex depannya senyum, mau Alex depannya mengkerut, tetap meja Alex itu harus dijaga. Gue setuju sama yang waktu itu Wilson bilang, mendingan ganti aja mejanya si Alex sama mejanya bikin Jepara, pakai kayu jati minimal.
Tuh mejanya Alex pokoknya udah minus 50% HP lah.
Enggak, itu udah
Alex,
udah main 200 loh.
Wah, udah keringat dingin dia.
Tiap mau diganti sama orang lain itu diganti dulu tuh shieldnya, dibeli lagi, di-rebuy lagi shieldnya.
Tapi kalau misalnya kita ngomongin soal map nih, gue setuju sama yang tadi sempat Dava bahas, kayak lo pengen ngeliat Bind, gue juga pengen ngeliat Bind.
Gue pengen ngeliat Harbor Haven tapi udah gak ada.
Jangan dong, gak Bind.
Something bakal pakai bridge.
Oh jelas.
Itu udah jelas, dan DRX nge-ban Aizen. Dan Pearl akan menjadi decider kita untuk di pertandingan yang pertama. Dari 3 map yang akan dimainkan, kalau menurut gue sendiri ini sama-sama kuat. Dalam artian di Fracture, ini mereka tuh punya 2 playstyle yang berlawanan. Balik lagi seperti yang udah dibahas di awal-awal barusan. Yang satu bakalan bawain 2 duelist, bawa Jet, bawa Riz. Yang satu, ini bakal bawa 2 smoker.
Iya.
Bakalan kita lihat adanya Viper dan juga Brimstone, di mana komposisi post plan nantinya pas jadi attacker, kontrol mapnya itu bakalan dalam banget dimiliki sama DRX harusnya. Kalau saya mereka starting sebagai attacker.
Ya, tapi mungkin PRX mereka juga pede ya buat main di Fracture karena mereka dapetin kemenangan di sana. Dan ya dengan agent composition seperti yang sudah dibahas masih tetap sama, tidak ada perubahan sama sekali.
Ya.
Per second dengan duelistian
Jet
yang akan dimainkan. Dan iya kalian tahu. Bentar, something
main Indo apa?
Ini masih bakal tetap. Dan ya, kalau something dengan bridge ya,
Mending Indo
kita
apa?
udah senyum-senyum di sana, harusnya full powerful nanti dia buat nge-cashnya ya. Dan ya dari DRX ya tetaplah mereka bakal main pelan, mereka punya bisa power buat nge-slow lawannya.
Sebenarnya tapi ini agent yang dibawain sama DRX cenderung anti meta ya. Karena metanya masih 2 initiator, tapi dengan ada 2 smoker, gue yakin edengnya benar-benar bagus banget.
Oke, tapi kita akan lihat apa yang akan terjadi di map pertama. So DRX dan PRX sudah standby, Caster pun sudah standby. Langsung saja kita oper ke Nona dan Wilson.
Thank you para panelis kita. Halo semuanya, selamat datang di meja caster. Karena sebentar lagi kita akan menyaksikan pertandingan di map pertama antara PRX melawan DRX bersama.
This year, everyone was looking at DRX and PRX to be the number 1, number 2 teams. Now, depending on which region you're coming from, you might have argued for one or the other being on top, but I mean, today's really going to get our first real look at it. During the round robin, that was early on, before something had really, found the groove and arrived even here in Seoul, South Korea for PRX. And now, PRX, they look completed. DRX, they've gone through a couple changes of their own, especially here on Fracture. We're seeing RB playing that Brim.
Streamnya gue ganti dulu berarti.
First time they did was against DRX. Now, this was PRX's map pick, PRX, and DRX chose to attack first. So they're going to be the ones that have a chance to inflict some damage right from the get-go onto PRX here on the defense, who, again, with the double duelists that they did mention, it's going to be fun to watch Forsaken back on the Neon and see what they got going. Something oftentimes on the Jet, but this is one of the maps where they don't make that happen.
Yeah, and DRX is completely ready for this, but they do get stunned up. I mean, this is the problem when you're going up against a Neon and a Breach. There's so many possibilities of flash and stun combos. Even if you're ready for it, you will just get punched straight up.
Yeah, and you see DRX trying to rotate now, but they run into some Killjoy utility as now they're just going to go back the other way. But yeah, PRX, even on the defensive side, they oftentimes, especially on a map like Fracture, will be the ones that are actually attacking you. As Forsaken on the run actually does not go behind the wall and instead just gets shot in the back by Buzz.
Yeah, I mean, he had no idea that Buzz was that close. And Buzz actually opening up tower as well. This is all thanks to Buzz being ready to swing on it. And I'm really glad that DRX, instead of having Buzz try to go for the they actually peeked first for him. RB watching the flank as well.
Oh, they have a Viper Orb as well. This is a fantastic setup for DRX as they read the rotation coming out from PRX through their own spawn. Now this is really not going to be easy.
Lagi di luar ya?
Mind Freak don't have much chance to make it in as well. Gonna open up with 1 kill for Divine.
Yeah, but there's not much time left, right? And Devi already
Ini gua.
pretty hurt.
Iya.
That
Atau gara-gara gue stream ya? Aduh nge-lag lagi.
Oh.
Mako was weaker. But this is a fight against time at this point. Uh-oh.
It's 4 kills.
Oh, Buzz main.
Wait, not able to get the kill.
Buzz main
Buzz
kali.
is the hero of the first
Gara-gara ada
round as he
Foxy9,
actually pulls off
sekarang
a
Buzz jadi
clutch,
main
like an official
Killjoy.
clutch as he picks up the
Aduh nge-lag cuy. Ini bisa
4K,
diganti ya sih
4K and
source-nya.
stops the defuse from coming in.
Yeah.
Auto-nya.
Been able to open up tower. He would have never been able to flank around through sewers as well. I mean, Buzz this B site for the team and getting them on the board first.
Tapi DRX sama PRX tuh nggak rival gitu kan, maksudnya kayak friendly rivalry aja kan. Nggak ada musuh-musuhan ya.
Oh,
Mereka kayak
enggak. Temenan, cuman ya gengsi aja kali.
On defense.
iya.
Well, so
Ya
much
sama
for
kayak
that.
kalau itulah.
Because by the way, Foxy9, he was
Ini
given
fracture siapa yang milih? Oh,
Phantom here in the
PRX.
second round. It's not something you always see. He was able to
Yeah,
buy full
PRX.
armor as well.
buset
so
ngebay nih.
he is going to be essentially the guy that's going to be opening
Oh,
up the
tapi
site.
masih
You
bisa-
don't
masih bisa
often
beli
see
Vandal
those
sih harusnya.
top-level rifles bought in the second
Enggak deh.
round.
Nggak
No
bisa.
crap
Nggak bisa.
anjir, enggak.
Foxy9 gonna
Ngebay,
immediately
cok.
open up
Ke
the
A
board,
lagi,
gets
salah
the first
gambling.
blood in B main.
Yeah, I mean, you can already tell the idea from PRX was, try to get a Marshall shot here or there. If you get a kill, great. But if anything, try to scare them off into the other site. We'll be prepared on A site. But Forsaken got dropped so early on. There was no concern for that from the side of DRX. And then on top of that, I mean, PRX went for this force buy. But like you mentioned, Valdez, DRX, they stacked a lot of full armor, right? 4 people with
Aduh,
full
keduanya
armor.
bain ya.
These Stingers, especially at this range, are not going to do much damage.
Main masih oke
Yeah,
sih.
now you're in a rough spot. You force bot. You can't just
Iya
do the
sih,
thing
cuman-
where, oh, I have a classic, I'm just going to die to the spike. Like,
Yeah.
they probably still want to, but they did
Jangan
kinda
sampai main
waste a
Yoru
lot of
aja.
money. So they're going to have to try
Lagi lawan DRX.
to come in
Nge-throw
here and
anjir.
actually retake this against a really rough spot where they do not really have the fire.
Udah kebaca ya Yorunya.
Jing
Iya,
at
udah
least able to get
kebaca
the
parah.
kill on the stacks here. DRX cleaning up the rest of them. Jing does pick
Mana
up
waktu
2,
gak
but there's not
sih?
enough time on this spike.
Dia
And
nyari
he's
damage
just on
aja.
the chase, but he does not even have enough health nor time. So he will go down and DRX will take round 2.
All right, a high-risk choice from PRX, and it does not come back as a reward. They will have to sit back. They could go for a couple of Stingers again if they wanted, Sheriff here and there, and then just match your econ for the next round. Kind of accept that you're going to go on that 3-round loss streak and get that.
Oh iya, kok something ya main inisiator ya?
Up for round 4.
Iya, karena mau nggak mau anjir.
See that Buzz?
Kan harusnya BNK yang main di
kept
sini,
that Phantom
cuman
alive. He actually handed it
gue lihat
immediately
juga
over
something
Foxy9
main
and
bridge di sini
fought his
kayak
own. So,
kurang gitu dah.
doing a good job for
Apa,
the team,
ability-nya.
keeping the economy stable and
Dipakainya.
everybody, the
Iya
key
kan?
players with the Phantoms to make sure they get the
Kalau
job
nembak
done.
sih
Yeah, we're not at
jago
the bonus
cuman
yet because PRX
Nggak
had
tahu dah.
to,
Ya, ngerti gue.
to save here essentially. They've got
Daripada
4
BNK sih
sheriffs
jagoan
and a stinger.
si something.
And they stacked the B site this time, but finally DRX looking to make a move towards A.
Yeah, PRX is going to get here on time. I mean,
Jadi
you already
3-0
see the
dong
Neon
ini.
is through the smokes. They have a crossfire ready here in Sands. Can they get a kill? No, they cannot. Foxy good for 2.
Yeah,
Wait.
fantastic job. Mind Freak at least was able to pick up 1, but Foxy is going on a rampage, only able to get 3.
Wait.
I say only because the other 2 were charging him. And RB
Ntar, waktu kita sama gak sih?
down here as they will get the spike
Baru di
plant
plan.
as well. And something
Lu baru di plan?
able to pick up a Phantom here.
Enggak,
so
lagi di
he's
something.
gonna get going.
Iya, sama-sama.
Something baru lewat pintu.
Sama-sama.
Trying to get these fights in a
Harusnya lebih
1v1
jauh kalau
scenario, but he's not even going to win the first one.
Iya, baru mati something tuh.
Pretty rough stuff for PRX so far. It was noted that PRX have not yet won against DRX in a series. It has not happened ever. And PRX have looked fantastic over the course of this regular season.
Oh, PRX tidak pernah menang lawan DRX, I
Towards
see.
the end of it as well.
Apa? Nggak pernah
But
menang.
yet, once again,
Iya,
faced
nggak pernah
with
menang.
DRX,
Iya,
they're
nggak
having
pernah.
a very rough start.
Yeah, I mean, if you looked at the history, I think you
2-1
would
paling
absolutely
gede.
have to pick
Cuma
DRX
bisa
as a
dapat 1
prediction.
match
But for me personally, I think this is one of the best shots that PRX has had. They look rejuvenated in this kind of version 3.0. If we look at their roster history,
Ketebak,
meanwhile
nggak
DRX,
mungkin.
while I would say they look stronger in general, if you look at them against any other team, in terms of stylistic composition versus PRX, they've gone a bit more explosive, a little bit more volatile thanks to Foxy9, and that might work out in favor of
Kaget tuh Foxy
PRX.
anjir.
Yeah.
Ada 2.
I'm kind of on the same page with you, William. And that's why I also predicted PRX here. We'll see what they can get going, as this time 4 Vandals. A lot of long angles that you want to cover with those Vandals on this map. Mako sitting back and spawn. He's going to spot this rotation coming in as the fault line now. PRX looking to charge on in there, going to catch Mako first. As the Seekers do come out, but they're not actually helping DRX.
Sumpah main anti flash enak.
Iya kayak gua kalau kayak gitu kayak kagak bisa dah. Mentok mulu.
Yeah, I mean DRX they are stuck between a rock and a hard place, and they made the correct decision that we have to turn and fight.
Iya kan timing ya, kapan yang orang mau flash.
Absolutely pinched and have no idea how to fight, so they wanted to.
Kemarin sih yang kalau lu nonton apa Sentinel lawan Furia juga gitu.
Emang kalau udah pro player, dodge-nya kalau nggak ngedodge malah dikata-katain aja. Ini udah jadi pro nggak ngedodge.
Iya.
We'll see if they can try to wrestle control back of this map away from DRX. DRX now looking to change up the tempo. A quick rush into Sands through the door, but Devi is here. He has been so reliable for this team. He's going to pick up 2. There's too many members already here on A side. And Jinx here with the showstopper as well. DRX completely stopped in their advances. Yeah, they just kind of got wrecked there in Sands. I mean, there's no other way to put it.
Devi lagi bagus anjir.
A quick rush, but
they were
so ready for it. They had the neon right there. They used their showstopper, and that's all after Devi picked up 2 just straight up kills.
Yeah, and the way they set that up is they purposely just leave Sands open. They're not watching from ropes. They're not watching at the door. They're actually just holding sight. You can see on the minimap, Forsaken was already in the middle of that site, ready to provide support one way or the other. And then Jing flies in, allowing Forsaken to move forward and try to check for more members as well. Just really good prep on the A side from PRX. Now they're going to try to push out of Dish. PRX is continuing to change up their defensive default pushouts to keep DRX guessing.
Yeah, I mean, especially at the highest level of Valorant, this is something you have to do. I mean, Team Secret did showcase that you can just rush A site 12 times in a row, and that is a viable strategy because it kind of, you know, it's kind of like reverse psychology. They're not going to expect it. Something you can also do at the highest level, but generally, you want to be mixing and matching. Your mid-rounding is going to be very important. As something is spotted, immediately smokes come down. DRX is looking to push through main.
All right, something is going to play it safe. That is a part that PRX has been missing in the past, but they're regrouping. Now they have their lockdown. Army's going to have his orbital strike as well. So they're going to have to make their choices very careful. They actually just want to try to push through.
Very questionable. I mean, Forsaken rather, he's trying to get on in. The lockdown is going to be destroyed at least. Here comes the rest of PRX. Jake able to get one. Foxy. Oh no! Spray is messy. And Jake picks up the 3K on the site. And now they have their own lockdown. It is going to draw out the orbital strike, but here's the thing.
Itu bagus sih anjir ultinya.
Just get rid of the defuse. So the lockdown is still going to buy them enough time. They can just stick this.
Yeah.
Gue mikirnya kenapa telat banget ya, tapi ya oke juga nih.
DRX are running on over, but they're just going to run into a bunch of guns, giving a couple of extra kills plus the defuse if they even needed it on the side of PRX. So 3 strong rounds now for PRX.
And what an excellent decision. Yes, Forsaken does rush in a bit too far, especially trying to get over that snake bite as well. Yeah. But the mission was, if we just counter lockdown for lockdown, they still have orbital strike. And then if we have to wait, it's not going to do us any good. So we have to get through, destroy their lockdown, and then force the
Tapi kalau gue lihat DRX dari kemarin, emang rada nurun gitu dah performanya dah.
Foxy itu gantiin siapa sih?
Gantiin Zes.
Rounds are so fast paced, but PRX seem to be really rolling with the punches. You know, they're so good at this kind of Valorant where it's just round after round, really quick. Not a lot of.
Ya Allah.
Mako though is gonna shut me up immediately as he essentially solo drive peeks into A main and picks up a 2K.
Yeah, Mind Freak does try to recover. He has good awareness. He knows that if they're trying to peek into A main, the other possibility without any contact on B has to be Dish. Tries to smoke that off, but DRX is going to make their entry. Foxy 9 survives.
Yeah, both of these two guys taking a little bit of damage. DRX, the plan coming down. A lot less ultimate potential in this round, as they've used it in the past couple. RB making noise as that door opens up, just trying to hold from the back side of main.
Smoke-nya bagus sih itu main freak.
Just trying to keep Devi busy, right? DRX
si Devi bisa lewat jadi.
Just want to play with time here, and Forsaken, he's only gonna get one.
Wow, udah.
Stack's able to hold it down on the site. It's all up to Mind Freak. and they already get some information about exactly where he is. So this should be an
Nice.
easy cleanup. Stacks 3 kills, and DRX take the lead once again.
Yeah, nice attempt from PRX, but DRX plays that very wisely. RB already getting into post-plant positioning as well with the lineups. And then he's able to continue to hold that main position where
Something ganti Benkai aja udah di sini.
This all starts with Mako. I mean, they talked about him on the desk as well. If he's able to pop off, I mean, who is willing to stand up against that guy? He is so clutch for DRX.
Unik mereka timeout.
Iya.
And a timeout called
Emang
for
kadang-kadang nggak jelas
by
anjir timeoutnya.
DRX.
Enggak, soalnya
came
gue
back
nggak
in
ngelihat
their first round.
mereka
They took them last
kalah
four.
kontrol
And yes,
map
Alex
sih
is going to
DRX tuh.
immediately put a stop to that and say, well,
Selain
I was
dari-
not happy
maksudnya-
with the way that round went.
Soalnya tadi kan Mako cuma dapat
And
2
I'm
kill
gonna
tuh
smack my
ya
desk
pure
a little
gara-gara
bit and
kalah
tell
aim aja
my
mereka.
boys about what they did wrong.
Yeah, curious to see what the feedback is here, right? I mean, you still had
Harusnya
your own
dapet sih,
3-round
Jing, tadi.
win streak.
Cuman
And off of that, I
visionnya
think probably Alex
nggak
holding off
kelihatan
on the
awalnya.
timeout for a bit to see, okay, did the adjustments come in the way I wanted them to long term? However, part of it was, right, they tried to creep out with no sound on A main.
mungkin mereka mau
but they
ganti
end
itu
up
kali,
getting
ganti
caught
strat
in this no
cara kontrol
utility
aim ini.
battle, and Mako's just able to win that duel. I mean, sure, all credit to Mako. Amazing shots. Not many people would be able to get both kills there. But if
Ya
you,
kan tuh,
if you
mereka
lose
mencoba
it
kontrol aim
1-1
lagi.
as the defending
Makanya
team,
orang-orang
you're actually in
suka
the
pakai
disadvantage,
omen
right? You're
di
always gonna be
fracture
outnumbered on the site. So
buat
here's
kontrol
where
aimnya
Alex's
enak banget.
position is.
One way
On
di
these push out, do you commit more
depan
utility
situ tuh.
to secure that part of the map?
Yeah, it's a good question. I think that PRX in the first bunch of rounds, even though they were losing, I liked their tempo a little bit, and then eventually
tempo
DRX
kontrol
started
lagi.
coming at them quickly, started getting very easy
Masih
control
sama
of the
tapi
sites,
tuh.
and even though the retakes were
Kayak
pretty
tadi.
good from PRX, maybe Alex not 100%.
Cuman Mako nggak kontes.
with
Karena
the
tahu-
initial parts of the rounds.
Oke, nice.
Wah,
Mako gonna
dapat
throw that up
anjir.
once again. Devi gonna start off with the first kill. There's a lot of action
Anjing.
here in
Anjir.
Arcade, and Devi again is just holding it down by himself.
Yeah, but Forsaken is stuck now because of the Seekers. He wasn't, and the Flash, he wasn't able to get out of this range. Oh,
Nice.
and Buzz assumes that he would have gone
Aduh.
back into sight. Mako there to trade that out.
Street lah.
2-2-4, 2-4.
Least
Apa?
Forsaken
Udah
able
dapat
to
satu.
take
Disiplin.
one, but yeah, not the best spot for him as he did get trapped, as you mentioned. DRX now looking to get onto the site here. They
Nice.
want to get this
Oh,
spike
nice.
down, but it is not easy against 4 members of PRX who have already made their way into the site, and
Mau
Mako's
dibuang.
just going to run away with an operator.
I think he's just going to throw it out. Unless they have plans.
Iya, dibuang
Well,
aja.
yeah, he just wants to make sure. This is already damage done. That's 4,700 credits down the drain from PRX. These are the small things, though, that end up snowballing.
Iya, nggak ada duit. Nggak ada
towards
Xing,
the
nggak ada
end,
duit.
especially when it's this close.
Jangan
Jangan
maksa
lewat
juga
aja.
sih
Funny to
sebenarnya.
see him just dump it off the side of the map. He's like, I don't want this crap.
Doesn't hesitate at all.
Okay.
Aduh.
Well, he's
Waduh.
dead now.
Aduh.
Ah, dipisah.
Oh, is it gonna
Aduh, di
happen again?
Mako dipisah. Mako dipisah.
Yes, the knife kill.
Anjir,
Round 8.
jadi dejavu anjir. Pas lawan T1 juga kayak gitu.
Yeah, and especially for a
Mako
player
dia
like
bisa
Mako,
juga.
I mean, he is
Bukan
not often
Mako,
put in a position where he
lawan
can get
T1,
by.
lawan T1.
That is not going to
Di
be
situ
good,
juga tempatnya
but
masalahnya.
If there's anyone that can regain their focus, not get shaken up by that, it's got to be Mako on the current DRX roster.
Good start here from Devi. He's holding the site down as the Killjoy. And they don't really catch him there.
Sibal,
as
sibal.
launching Arcade. Nobody really even checking for that.
Ntar gua refresh. Kayak gua ini deh. Telat.
Ya lu telat dikit.
Just deciding it is one of the easier paths to take with that fault line. Just
Nice.
2 people. Oh! Bit of a miss there. I mean, sure, it is weaker firepower, but no hits at all.
Aduh.
As okay, some of those long range fights coming in once again. Mako finally gonna kill someone with that weapon, and now the rotation coming out from DRX towards.
Waduh. Anjing cakep.
A couple of headshots, a little spray onto RB at the end. And he makes quick work of the team, who are essentially done by him to hold down the fort. But,
Now,
yeah.
ults all online for PRX, right? And 2 away for Devi as well. I mean, they could very easily use one of these from the get-go just to
ulti
gain
4, Cok.
space, just to force
Dipakai
a
sih
rush
harusnya
at
sih.
DRX and then retake with the other
Harusnya sih.
ultimates as well. I mean,
Jing
this
balik
comes into
situ,
the macro
Jing udah
strategy
siap.
of how many rounds do we want to
Soalnya kalau udah
absolutely
beda 2 udah
guarantee in the
enak.
first half. If you want to
Harusnya.
get to at least 6 or 7,
Sampai
you could use 2 or 3 ults in this
halftime.
round.
Yeah, absolutely. I think you want to secure some of these orbs and
Anjir.
looks like they're slowly.
Oh, I see.
Slowly, actually.
Mereka kayak gitu cuman
Totally
ngebait
taken,
itunya.
the backside
Oke.
of the map, so they know it's got to come from the
Oh,
front.
nice
from the
banget anjir.
main.
Wow, gila ya, nggak dapet ya? Dapet nggak? Enggak ya.
Push back for now, so DRX will
Emang
have to
bagus,
reset.
kata gua nggak ada.
Mako does take a big
Kan kedorong keluar jadinya.
That rolling thunder
Enggak, cuman
pretty
kalau
much kinda saving
timingnya pas,
DRX from the
kalau
orbital
timingnya
strike
bener
as well.
bisa
I mean, obviously
kena
they
itu.
were hoping
Iya,
that the
timingnya
studs would
bener.
keep them
Cuman
alive, but
gagal
they
tuh.
were
Kayak kurang
already
maju. Iya,
back
kurang
up.
belakang deh.
Does he peek? He's
Oh,
Gak dapet dua, gue kira dapet dua itu anjir.
He's
nggak dapet.
at least able to get the information.
Ultinya nggak dapet.
Only picking
Oh,
up that
iya,
one though.
Froza sih.
Foxy knows that a lot of them are up there at rope. He's just trying to hold it down pretty aggressively as the
Wah,
team gets this
di ulti,
plant down.
anjir.
Foxy able to get one, but doesn't expect the swarm
3 lawan 3
of
ya.
the rest of them. Jing able to pick up that kill.
Yeah, but now they have to get through the pit, and they don't have much to
Itu
work
tadi
with.
kapan,
They have a
anjir?
single
Ultinya
boombot to gain
sayang.
info. It's going to be so crucial on the angle he throws this in.
It's like he's bowling. He's like, oh god, like what is the exact angle I want on this thing?
Mako just playing it as safe as possible. He knows his teammates are holding from main. They can spam this from main as well, but
Nggak ada waktu
PRX, the biggest assignment is to find Mako, and they just cannot do it.
Yeah,
Whoa!
not quite
No,
yet.
saving,
But
saving,
a
bang.
fantastic flick already, and PRX, they're just gonna hold on to their guns. There's just not enough time. I thought maybe they really try to force it. They have so much money right now, but I mean, you're going up against nano swarms, a Viper's pit, like it's really rough. So playing into a Killjoy and a Viper, they just elect to back off and give the round over to DRX.
Yeah, I mean, of course, you always got to consider there's that extra element, right, when it comes to kills and deaths. The ult orbs and Buzz only 1 point away. You know, Stack slowly trying to build up. I mean,
Ini
ideally,
for
you want
second
another
ultinya
season
dari
before the first
awal
half
tadi
ends,
ya?
that lockdown most
Udah lama
likely
ya?
after this round or the next.
Belum dipakai.
Sampai Iko kali ya.
Pretty close stuff so far.
udah.
Here on
Apa ya,
Fracture.
bingung tuh tahu
we have
pakai
the
ultinya Neon tuh.
tied up 5-5.
Nggak kayak Jet.
And even though
Selalu
it seemed like
habis
PRX came
kalau
out
lu diemin ya.
swinging very early on,
Iya.
DRX immediately kind of settles it down, forces PRX to play their game.
Nggak kayak
And
Jet
their
sama
entries
Chamber.
have been quite strong and clean.
Paling kalau
Although
mereka dapat momentum
getting
retake
some
bisa kali.
angles from time to time, so good to give
Ya dapat.
DRX
Woi,
the credit.
woi
that
kenapa
they've
sampai
earned.
26
Good
anjing?
down here from PRX. Mindfreak gonna pick up the kill on a Buzz.
This is such a smart
headshot
setup. Now they're
dapat
going to check
15.
that it's
Wah.
the Foxy Knight wins that duel.
Dicek
I mean,
anjing itu off
Forsaken
angle-nya.
actually had no intention of
Nice.
staying in oh, something.
This angle from something
Nice.
is so
Wah.
smart. He picks
Dua.
up two.
Nice,
And
nice,
that's,
nice,
he
nice.
did his job,
Wah,
right?
itu
Even if
plannya-
Zolan comes down, fantastic
untung
stuff.
nggak
And now
di-pick.
Device got the lockdown to try to retake this. Should be pretty easy to the
Yeah.
side of PRX as Mako goes down as well. Yeah, it's all up to RB.
I mean, nowhere he can go. They know exactly the only possibility is that he has
Ya,
to be
nggak kena
here.
dong.
Wah, udah dah.
They are trying to
Bye-bye.
swarm him out, and he cannot get a kill.
Yeah, poor guy. Had everything in the world thrown at his face. Lockdown, Molly.
For second belum panas anjir.
What
For second doang yang kelihatan belum yang kelihatan kurang.
PRX, it really just comes down to something just lurking on the edge of that cloudburst.
Iya,
and getting
ultinya aja
those
nggak
two kills
dipakai-pakai.
as they come in.
And also the setup they had right before.
Sudah
this
cek
was
anjing itu.
able
Off angle-nya
to
bagus
finish
banget itu,
off
anjir.
with Buzz. What was so
Iya,
interesting
emang.
about their push out on the north side, as we were watching those amazing shots by something, was the fact that they adjusted their fault line to catch him before he jumps on the ropes, right?
Yeah.
Before they get
Kill.
spotted by the turret. So this is an
Mana nih
entire
dua Indo?
adjustment just to make sure DRX's default
tapi
setup on
Mindfreak
the north
cuma
side doesn't
4
work.
matinya.
Now in the last round, DRX says, well,
Iya,
you know what, it's the
for
last
second
round
doang.
anyway. We are
10
just going to
anjir.
go for a rush. I think RB
Gak apa sih, yang penting
is
dia dapat
maybe an
control
orbital
space.
strike.
Iya.
Nah, oke, akhirnya
Nah,
ulti.
akhirnya.
Gonna hold on to it for
Oh,
now.
mereka main
Oh,
cepet
it's just
itu.
the volley.
Itu
All right,
kanan
they
lo.
push it up. Chance, and he's punching the flank.
Yeah, Forsaken just sprinting through, and this flank coverage from
dapat
RB
dua.
is gonna hold on to it, but
dapat
Jing
tiga.
is in a really
Kok ada
good
ulti
spot.
lagi, anjing?
So much to RB.
Rosa lagi.
Just run away with the spike. He's like, never mind, I didn't want to fight you
Rosa
anyway.
mulu.
Hari-hari Rosa.
What an incredible series of events. Can
Dapai,
they
dapat,
get
dapai.
to plant though? Oh no, the spike
Anjir
is
si
down.
Dapai.
Spike
Bagus
is down,
banget,
they
Cok.
still have time, but Devi and Mindfreak are
Anjing,
holding.
gua kira dia
That's
kill-
gonna do it. PRX will
Gua
pick
kira
up
dia
the
nge-kill si
7th
Foxy, anjir,
round
tadi.
on the defense.
Iya, gue kira juga.
And
Ke
take
kiri
that
ya.
slightly going into the half.
Kenapa dari sini
that time, both teams kind of reading each other, right? DRX just wanted to go for a fast push. They still leave RB to watch the flank, and he was ready. That way he could save for his post-plant lineups as well. Forsaken comes out swinging, but unfortunately the spike was dropped. That was the biggest problem. The one kill that PRX got initially on that flank was against the spike barrier. And at that point, the rush just didn't hold much meaning. You had to come back and regroup on the side of DRX.
And
oh wow, a fan from Seattle that's been cheering for 2 years in the past for DRX, and now they're here in Seoul to cheer for DRX in person.
Yeah, the 11-hour flight to get here is
Game
I
apa
don't
bang?
really envy that.
Valorant bang.
I've done those and longer ones in New York, but yeah, it's rough. But that's true fandom to come all the way down
Valorant bang.
and cheer in person.
Voxel.
And yeah, it's a really close series so far. Got to give credit to both of these teams, but DRX definitely the pressure is on with that slight deficit. Curious to see how their defense is going to look with the double controller set up, the Viper and the Brimstone. Not something you see all the time, but I feel like it should be strong here on defensive Fracture. There's a lot of angles to cover, and I want to see how they control it.
Yeah, I mean, I think the biggest thing is on the attack, obviously, if you can get the plant down, then Viper and Brimstone, you know, they've got the just post-plant lineups for days. However, PRX accurately, you know, recognize that, and they shut down the advances as early as possible. Not too many chances for those lineups to come in handy. Now, as you mentioned on defense, it's really going to come down to, you know, what are the setups from Viper? How much more can you really cut up the map into smaller pieces so that you can use it a lot more easily? And as some of the fans are saying, I mean, this match, it's to get to the grand finals first. It's to secure your spot in the Changchun Arena in the stadium, you know, next weekend.
PB 2023.
Yeah, definitely.
Maybe.
If you have an opportunity, you'd love to sit back and wait and watch the lower finals and see, you know, the strategies that come out, the maps that get picked, how the teams are playing it, and kind of just prepare yourself mentally for that matchup. So definitely a big boon if you do win this matchup. It's not just all about pride. And in the case of PRX, it's not just all about getting that first win. Although it would be huge for them if they could get it here and not have to deal with losing, I think it's like 5 or 6 times.
It would be their 5th, yeah, I think. They're 0-4 against DRX right now. And Buzz, they're trying to sniff this out. Oh, he cannot find the kill!
Bisa.
What's happening? This is up there in tower trying to hold it down with a knife and a shorty. It's not going to work out for him, as he used a lot of his money just on utility, I guess. Now it's all up to Foxy9 alone. Mind Freak, I think, picked up 3 kills at the end of it all.
Bang Voxel dapat dari mana nih Bang Voxel?
Might get another one. Nope, Divine picks it up with the Sheriff. And PRX now in a lot of control, picking up a quick pistol round in this one.
Yeah, and you could just tell how aware PRX was, right? Even for seeing him purposely sprint jumping into the smoke to make sure he doesn't get shot right away. I mean, so wise here, and then his team, I mean, that's the most agents I've ever seen in a single smoke, by the way. They're just all partying in there like it's
5
a
of
rave.
them, yeah. Because the entirety of PRX as a team charged through the smoke, and then you've also got Buzz in there with his, I think it was Buzz, just one of them,
yeah,
who had the shorty and was just waiting, and then tried the knife because, well, once you use those 2 shorty bullets in the first round, you're not in a good spot. Here comes Foxy trying to get some information. The Viper wall is set up here in A main, and PRX want to take it slow.
Kayak tahu ya.
Right there. DRX did hear the rope. PRX, they're just waiting for this to drop. They want to get the jump on
Babar
him.
MLBB aja bang, rame banyak yang nonton.
Gua
kayak pernah dengar komentar
Not
itu deh.
going to allow Foxy to be cheeky in that corner. 3 kills already.
Cuman kalau MLBB terlalu banyak bang.
Does a bit of damage to something. Gonna take his armor down, but it's not a lot of value here for DRX.
Aku mah game sepi-sepi aja.
Jing hears this. He hears the sprint, I think. Yeah, he's aware that someone did go through sewers, just trying to figure out which direction it might be. So Forsaken gets the call. He's now waiting over by Dish.
Yep. And
Emang udah dah si Jason. Makin loh, udah kena klasik kayak gitu tuh mentalnya.
Setuju, Cok.
And Orbital Strike now ready for Mind Freak. This is going excellently for PRX here in the second half as they go on the attack. I mean, they could very well just launch.
Kata gue dia reset mental aja sih.
Curious to see if DRX, if they're just kind of giving space, right? Aware that if it's PRX, they could very well just dump the orbital strike to gain space on the entry.
Yeah. Definitely an option. You see a bunch of pings are coming down, a generator on B. Maybe they want to just rush on in, use this quickly. The blind comes in. Sewer control taken. They're not going to rush it just yet.
Gua moderator, Bang.
As I say that, though, Jing is running into them. Makes his way all the way into Canteen and one orbital. Gets two in the tower.
They have no exit.
Lu dapat
They trapped them in a
gua dari
way.
mana, Bang? Di
That was so cool.
di FYP
Now it's
atau
PRX looking to take the
emang
bonus.
subscriber dari dulu?
Buzz has to go 1v2, and yes, he has a Vandal, but
Atau
Phantom here for Devi,
temen-temennya
and my
siapa?
freak just gonna
Nice
win it with a
bonus,
Bulldog.
nice
This guy
bonus.
is eating up 3 kills again. PRX are kind of just
Keren
stomping
juga
him
kalau dari
out.
FYP.
I mean, what a setup, by the way. If I'm not mistaken, hopefully we can catch on the replay. I think the Aftershock was used in default position on the site in that little corner. So that way they just had nowhere to go off of the orbital strike. I mean, it was either stay and just fight this
Subscriber dari
massive
dulu.
force running in through main, get hit by the orbital strike, or get hit by the
Ini
Aftershock.
siapa?
There was nowhere for the two
Siapa
members
sih
to go.
Anda?
What a set play for specifically for
Gua
a
nggak
bonus
tahu nih.
round.
Yeah, a bonus round.
Namanya
You've got
Pixel
orbital
doang.
strike that's going to
Oke,
lock those two
oke.
people
Coba ya,
down.
jadi tang.
Really, really cool stuff from the side of PRX, and right now it feels like they are the team that deserves to win this map. Let's see if DRX can make some kind of comeback, because again, they lost the bonus, so they're in a really rough spot here. PRX looking to come in quick into Sands. Not rushing anything, though. No, they're going to be facing a lot of sheriffs and stuff like that, so
Yang
they don't
stand
want
up.
to run through this
Oh,
Viper
alah.
screen just yet. But take it slow and check all the corners.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you know that toxic screen is on a gauge. You can always return to the site, try to time it again when the
Stand
screen
up
goes down
terbaik.
if someone keeps sight of that. But the fact that they are all exiting tells me that they're taking advantage of the fact that they have the better firepower
Subscriber
to
dari dulu.
collect as many orbs as they can. Really secure that one extra guaranteed round win, and then go for the strike.
They're looking to entry here, but actually not going to go for it. The Viper smoke comes up, and now they're rotating out again. I believe that orb was taken as well and be made, so just like you were saying, William, very important. This is one way to
Apa nih?
bolster your economy even further. And now they will once again
Udah
look to push
ganti
on to A.
akun, Bang. Siapa Anda?
Okay.
Itu
Forsaken has
ngapain
no
Jason,
idea that he's being
anjing?
nailed. Devi's way too
Jason,
far.
Jason.
Needs to run through spawn
Bisa.
immediately.
Main freak lagi gacor.
Does Mind Freak run over to B? Okay, that's the call. Device says it's been cleared out.
Iseng-iseng cari
I think
ada.
Killjoy's down
Apa
as
tuh yang
well, and
diiseng-iseng
everything on
cari
B
tuh?
is just taken out. There's nobody there.
Cari
It's
video
not a lot of
apa
time,
emang
but
sampai
enough time
ketemu
to get some
akun
plant
saya.
down. Not gonna waste time with this one.
Hah, lainnya unik.
Wih,
Oh, the long
Nah,
range
mantap.
fight in
Nah,
Device
iya,
gonna win that
kalah
one
dong.
against Stacks. A very important one to hold down, and now it's all up to RB 1v2.
orang
Lainnya
mana
selalu
Bang
nggak
Voxel?
This is something that we were talking about before the show started with the members on the desk as well. In that, I mean, if PRX can start hot, right? If they can keep up that momentum again. Yeah, I mean, Device looking so good. Something's
Nih,
been looking
jangan-jangan
great. I
teman
mean, Jinx,
SMA,
like
teman
that we
SMP
saw it earlier,
gua nih.
Forsaken playing for his team
Kalsel.
as that entry.
Kalsel apaan? Kalimantan
His flight path. Yeah,
Selatan.
Jing is the best pilot in the world.
It's true, though. He's been flying through the air. Like, that was so cool to get on the site. He does die immediately, but, just raise things. And yeah, I mean, look at this. Devi, he baits out the peak with the turret. He knows that RB can hear it, so he has to clear that out. Low on health is RB, so Devi's got the other
Wah,
angle.
menang dong.
Clears him out through the generator.
Iya menang, Cok.
And now Foxy9 says, well, it's time to throw down and pick up an operator here on defense.
Berarti tadi sempat menang ya?
Try to bring this
Gua
map back.
fokus ke
This is
komen
their
aja.
last hope, right? I mean, they're
Nggak ada,
never
nggak ada
down,
DRX,
just
nggak ada
don't
menang
wanna
sama
give
sekali.
up match point.
Oh
They
iya.
lose here,
Berarti pas
all
bonus
hope
juga
lost,
menang.
they just have to
Bonus
prep for map 2. But
Iya,
if
bonus
they win
menang.
here and they can continue the operator
Gua
thing,
ngeliat yang
this
bonus.
may change.
Well, it's a
Ayo,
neon that
Jason.
he's trying to shoot out of the sky.
Ayo,
That's
Jason.
not going to help. And they're charging
Nice,
him down on
nice.
the site.
Oh my
Forsaken
God.
picks
Okay,
up
mantap.
2. And this is a total clean
Persiapan map
sweep
2.
on the B site. As this will immediately spark a plant, and DRX are in a rough spot to retake
Dah,
this.
The
sabar,
setups from
Jason jangan
PRX are
overheat.
so good.
Waduh.
Oh, hold
Okay.
that thought for now, though the round's not over.
Waduh. Ih, waduh.
Algo going to be taken
Dia
out.
kabur dong.
Run Buzz on the re-entry, but something's holding from Arcade. A rough entry because you got to check so many angles
Nice,
here.
dapai,
Devi is
dapai,
just
dapai.
lurking
Yeah.
in main. It's all up to
Satu,
Stacks
satu.
now, 1v1 against something.
He's going to stick to half.
Oh,
But
no.
the shorty
Nice.
and something will get match point.
Pocket shorty, bos.
paket
One shorty
shorty.
in a dream doesn't matter that
Gue suka
something
lupa
is
dah,
playing
pengen beli
reach.
shorty
He
udah
doesn't
niat,
have to play
kagak
Jet
beli-beli.
to get value out of that.
Yeah, apparently not. He'll always still get the jump time perfectly. And I mean, again, the setup was Forsaken. You're given a mission to clear out this potential operator. And the fault line comes into sight after Forsaken has pushed him out. So that Foxy9 was dazed. I mean, he had nowhere to go after that dash was used. Just really good awareness. And now 4 ults lined up again for PRX. Sure, DRX has a couple of their own as well, but PRX is in prime position to close out this map.
12-5. They're looking to make it 13-5.
Buset.
Here comes Forsaken. Gonna get stunned
Ini mau
up on his way
dikelarin kayaknya.
in. He is drawing a lot of attention there at main as here comes Jing.
Ya Allah, jalan lagi.
Foxy does get the click on the Forsaken. And that's going to be huge, but still PRX looking to clean them up.
Yeah, but Foxy was not stunned. He's still holding this angle, so Sands is
Davai
held
terakhir
true
mati
for
kapan
now.
sih?
If they can push
Kenapa?
PRX,
Davai terakhir mati.
Davai
Iya, gue juga nggak ngeliat anjir.
and DRX, they don't have an answer for this.
Yes, it's pretty rough. I mean, you see Buzz with his lockdown over on B.
Oh, nice.
He's not in position to answer this.
Akhirnya
They just gotta run
menang
out,
juga
give the
satu
site
map.
over to PRX
Jangan
bot.
ngomong dulu.
Jangan di-jinx. Jangan di-jinx
Jangan dulu.
nanti.
Jangan dulu.
Almost too much to ask from him.
Masih ada ulti si
You
Bas.
definitely have to use a lockdown, but the
Habis ini
question
bye.
is, because
Bisa lah
here
harusnya
it's way
kalau ini
too
menang.
far out, right? You want to try to inch closer, but Mako being so low, it's way too risky for him to just
Cuman
play
susah
bait.
retake Killjoy di
Yeah, PRX are just playing sight. No funny
Nice.
business. Mako not even
Aduh,
clutching, and
cakep banget sih ini orang
PRX
anjing.
takedown Fracture.
Set si
Their
Davai.
map selection, and they
Gokil, gokil.
stomp DRX on
Keras
this
banget,
first one. They made it look easy. And now DRX
Kenapa
gonna have
Davai
to
jago?
respond to
Perlawanan,
this
Cok.
on
Karena
buying
dia pakai
first.
phantom
Second
sendiri,
half,
anjir.
Man, was that one-sided.
Yeah,
Yang
I mean,
lainnya
sure,
pada pakai
DRX
ini.
started with the 3 rounds in a
Betul.
row. They even,
Heeh.
were able to convert their bonus
Gue
into a
jadiin
win
lu
in the first
moderator ya
half. But
sekalian.
after that, PRX comes
Siapa?
out swinging. And
Mantap.
here's the thing. I love that this fan's pointing out
Tapi
something.
moderator
'Cause
fungsinya apa
what
sih?
occurred to me was
Oh,
the fact
itu.
that now with something
Bisa
playing that
delete
breach on
chat
some of these
gitu-gitu lah.
maps, you have such a stronger second line of entry and defense. So now, Jing and Forsaken, they literally can play that entry where they're just creating space. They do not have to frag out. You have Divide and something to back you up on
Voxel
trades. And
penonton
then
dari
Viper,
mana,
if he's
anjir?
back in top condition like he is today, looks even better.
Kalau
Nothing
beneran
against
random,
Benkai, but
ada juga
Benkai
ya
used to
penonton
always play that
random.
much more reserved role that was being the IGL from the back line.
Yeah.
Now without that, you're all able to always prepare to trade for Jing and Forsaken.
Yeah, you're exactly right, William. I think everybody's on the same page 100% of the time, and that's part of their strength. That's part of why their attacker sides especially look so deadly. Everybody is going the same direction, right?
Berarti
There's nobody hanging
attackingnya ya,
back.
attackingnya yang menang ya
Entries,
berarti
the
ya,
set plays
yang menang
are
Iya,
banyak.
so
attackingnya nggak ada
from
nggak ada
them.
kalah.
And some of the stats we have from some of these PRX members are just ridiculous. 22-7 for Divide.
That is insane. I mean,
22-7 on Divide.
PTX
3 first
002,
bloods
aduh.
on a Killjoy.
yeah, I mean, Divide definitely did
Teman
his fair
SD.
share of work and more
Oh, iya kah?
here for his team. But everyone, quite frankly,
Siapakah
fragged
teman
out very
SD?
well. And while
Yeah.
Forsaken didn't get many kills, again, his job was to create that space as the Neon be the distraction. So the
Siapa
rest of his
nih?
team can get those kills and carry them to a
Yang gua tahu
13-5
teman
victory.
SD yang
And they
tahu
might be able to
YouTube gua cuman
finally
PP.
beat DRX in a matchup.
Dika.
That's why so many of us predicted them. It feels like today is the
Dika
day.
siapa,
PRX are
anjir?
going to do it. It's going to be today.
Yeah.
And, it's not
Dika-
over. This is why we have best of threes.
Dika
This
teman
was
SD.
PRX's map
Lu nggak
pick.
ada
You do have a lot of
teman SD yang namanya
excuses you
Dika,
can say for
perasaan?
DRX. Maybe they start
Dika.
off slow. DRX rather, they always lose the first one. And
Gua
they
adanya
get
Dika
sad,
teman
right? So
SMP.
maybe we go to bind and DRX do the same to them. But so
Possible.
far, it's not looking like that, but we'll have to wait and see, guys. We're going to take a quick
Dika,
commercial break. We'll
Dika,
come back
Dika.
with the desk and map number 2 of bind.
SD Pondut kan? Kalau SD beneran.
The ones that are actually attacking you as first. Oh, there's Viper Orvis. They're going to hold the defuse. Viper
Aduh.
not able to get that kill. I say only because
Ini ini pakai Rena ya si something.
PRX
Di
looking
Bayern.
to charge on in there to Sands through the door, but Vi is here.
Reina,
Iya, kemarin pakai Rena
Di Bayern.
soalnya. Di Bayern.
Very careful. They actually just want to
Terakhir.
try to push.
PRX are running on over, but they're just going to run
Atau ada
into
comms
the
lain.
round really, really quick. Not a lot of downtime. So this should be a pretty easy out.
oh mic gue ini ya ada kayak statik-statik kayak gitu ya.
Iya, iya. Heeh. Kenapa tuh?
Two people. Oh, they pick up a Vandal. Well, he has no plans of losing. I'll do it.
Yeah,
Well,
no.
he can actually had no intention of sneaking. Oh, something.
This angle from something is so.
Oh,
the long range fight.
Davai.
Not gonna help, and they're charging him down on the site.
Oh,
For-
my. But the shorty, it's
Siapa di Karaharjo? Ngasal banget. Di Karaharjo siapa? Jadi gue gak punya teman-teman di Karaharjo. Hah? Masih. Coba ngomong lagi dah.
Masih. Tes.
Iya masih.
wow.
일단 맛있는 밥을 먹고 이제 경복궁에 왔는데요. 경복궁에는 이제 한복을 사람들이 많이 입고 다닌다고 하더라고요.
근데 한복을 그냥 입으면 좀 재미가 없으니까요. 저희가 간단한 게임을 준비했습니다. 그래서 게임을 통해서 왕을 선정을 할 건데요. 왕이 지시하는 대로 한복을 입으시면 되겠습니다. 게임은 바로
Masih.
This one 1 point, and this one 2 point, and this one 3 point, and this one is 4 point, 5 point. Go throw it. Ooh. 2 point. It's okay, we can change the king later.
Ini udah oke kan?
Oh, 5 point.
Dah. Nah, dah.
Oh, ternyata harus disconnect dong.
One point. Two point. Okay, 2 point. One. Go one. One game here. Fuck.
Kira ini main apaan?
Yeah, you win.
Mainan Korea.
I know you're gonna be the king, JJ. I have faith. You're my role model. Yes.
Ingat Kevin nggak? Kevin siapa dulu nih? Kevin banyak nih. Kalau Kevin SMP, ingat gua Kevin. Itu Kelvin, salah. Enggak inget gua Kevin siapa? SD Kevin.
For me. This.
Teman adik gua kali. Kalau teman adik gua ada namanya Kevin sama Dika, kalau nggak salah. Nggak tahu dah. Kevin teman adik gua taunya. Kevin SD. Siapa? Kevin SD.
Bas.
Iya. Oke, Kevin SD. Kevin teman adik gua berarti. Yang bener dah. Benar. Lu tuh namanya Dika apa Kevin yang bener nih? Tadi katanya Dika. Poksel.
I love it. 잘 어울리는데?
Tuh.
Tapi misal menang di sini, ntar ada final tetep aja. Perebutan juara satunya ntar.
경복궁이 혹시 언제 지어졌는지 아니? 이 경복궁은 이제 1395년에 조선 시대에 지어져가지고 왕이 여기서 생활했던 곳으로 알려져 있어요.
Ini tumben gak ada Fatin nih, biasanya Fatin nongol nih di stream gua. Gua ini ya. Gua story WA. Story WA.
Waduh, ngantuk.
Sore emang ngantuk Jak, tahan Jak.
Soalnya gue malam tes, Cok.
Hah? Kenapa? Malam kapan?
Malam ada ujian.
Oh, malam ada ujian.
Gue jam belajar.
지금으로 치면 약간 파티장 같은 곳이라고 할 수 있습니다.
Itu kenapa stacknya tadi di cewek anjing?
Makanya.
네, 이렇게 오늘 PRX와의 컨텐츠 촬영이 끝났고요. 통인시장에서 이제 맛있는 음식들도 먹고 경복궁에서 또 한복 체험하고 또 이제 우리나라의 이제 전통 놀이들도 하면서 많이 즐겼는데요. 너무 즐거운 시간이었고 How was it today? How was it today?
I had a lot of fun. We get to learn new culture about South Korea. Like we get to learn about the king, and we get to learn about and try Korean food and stuff. Yeah, like me and Jing had a really good moment, I would say, with Barca and Stack. So hopefully there's more of these in the future, and hopefully PRX and DRX do well in the playoff. So yeah, keep supporting us. Thank you guys. Fighting.
Fighting.
Today I had a lot of fun because I made Stack's red dress. What else? That's it. That's it, I guess. For VCT, hopefully PRX.
Putih banget sih ini orang anjing dah.
Iya anjir. Ada ini cuy, dia. Ada keturunan Indo.
대회하는 PRX 선수가 또 컨텐츠를 하다 보니
Cuman kenapa bisa putih banget gitu ya? Kayaknya Indonya Indo Cina dah.
재밌지 않았나 싶습니다.
Oh, ini Singapura kan?
Iya, dia Singapura. Cuman katanya ada keturunan Indo. Kayaknya ibunya deh, kalau nggak salah ibunya orang Indo.
See you in Tokyo.
See you guys in Tokyo. The father and the son.
Yeah. 파이팅.
Fighting.
파이팅.
안녕.
Bye. Ciao.
We've just completed Fracture. Well, DRX and PRX did, and PRX, woo! They just went full W, and DRX for once weren't so prepared for that. But honestly, also I gotta say, Stax looks beautiful in a handbook.
I love seeing him in the
Di
handbook.
Bind kemarin si 4 second pakai Harbor anjir.
Like I said, an old Korean game.
Hah?
I'm glad I'm alive in this time.
Iya.
I get to cast
Pokoknya Harbor,
Valorant and not, you know, that game.
Brim apa? Harbor, Brim,
back then
Reina,
that was their
Raze,
esport, so.
Sky.
Well, just like that game,
Oh.
they lost.
Oh,
DRX,
yeah.
and the same results here.
Look, now we've got this game,
Lagi
right? So
nonton
much more fast-paced,
Valorant.
so much more exciting, and if you can take a look at the bottom of your screens, ladies and gents, onwards of round 11, maybe even round 12, where the first half ends, what do you see? DRX hasn't won a single round. 13-5. Has this ever happened before?
This is it's really interesting. I mean, PRX clearly wants to use momentum and generate pressure. Now we've got two excellent teams with two very different play styles. PRX is fundamentally just faster and more aggressive. And whenever you have a team that's going to play like that, it does force DRX to be more on the reactive side. Let's not forget, generally Korean teams are slower than more methodical.
Main Rick 15
they really do. Again, a more conservative game, but now DRX is on the back foot. They're having to react. They're having to adapt to the situation. Or I guess we saw them not adapt back there. And I thought PRX might take game one. I didn't think it was going to be that fast.
Yeah, and we know PRX, by the way, holds the title for fastest games, whether they win or lose in all of Pacific. And that one, definitely, I think it must have been one of the fastest games. I think, you know, stepped up for a toilet break, came back, was like, oh, we're at halftime already. That's crazy. All right, but look.
Oh, pantas nge-lag dari tadi anjir.
It's still like, it's still DRX.
Lagi
and
scan
there were some
virus.
good ideas, adaptations from the Mako king himself, although his performance is a bit shaky here. Do you want to break down the round with Mako?
Sure. I mean, let's take a look at it. I think it's Mako, but also like the
Nah ini nih
rest of the
kalau
players who were
kurang sabar kayaknya dah.
PRX funneling them towards sites, and so much of this happened throughout the entire
Ultinya
first
tadi,
half.
ulti yang dua
Something
itu.
sends out the Rolling Thunder, Orbital Strike comes in, DRX recognizes and they rotate all the way around. They push them into Divine, who does get one. Jing even throws in the showstopper, but Foxy9 actually outdrafts out of it. The thing is, in all this time, DRX managed to get on the site,
round terakhir
and Viper's pick
DRX
gets
menang kan?
deployed.
Habis itu gak pernah menang lagi.
This gives them so much more control over the site, and an incredible mid-round adaptation being called by, the three core members, Mako, Stacks, as well as Buzz, of course, and then
Mako,
being able
Stacks,
to
and
hold
Mako.
it. Yeah, I mean, Mako's still right. He's
It was
the one
the
with the Viper's
Makos.
pit. But, that said, if we look
Yang
at
dari
the
DRX tadi yang
stat
MVP
streak,
siapa?
talking about the
Si
key
Mako
players
bukan?
today, that's the weird thing.
Buzz.
Mako
Buzz.
actually had the worst stats across the board. I mean, not to hate on the guy, of course, but, this is so rare. We don't see Mako getting, bot frag that often. Forsaken was bot frag too, but he had 5 first kills. Forsaken's entire job today was to pressurize DRX, force them into uncomfortable spots.
Well, look, Mako, going back to Mako, it's the first time I've seen him get knifed this season. I don't know at all. Has he ever gotten knifed before?
Oh iya kena knife
Not
anjir.
to my recollection.
That's crazy. And you know what? Casters mentioned it. It must have damaged your mental in some way. And you could see in the scoreline, it kind of did. Now, there was a round, too, where Mind Freak deep fried DRX.
Yes. It was a pretty wild round here. And this is really where it stopped being a back and forth, and it started to become a bit of a humiliation here. We see Mind Freak getting that double, nuking both Foxy9 and Mako. That was set up, of course, with a stun earlier. But this was just an incredible performance here. And this is where we started to see the humiliation really kick in. Just Buzz left over. Still a 2 versus 1. Maybe he can pull something off. If anybody could do it, it would be Buzz here. But ultimately, not quick enough on the gunplay. Mind Freak gets that kill. And, I mean, look, I thought, PRX going to win. I didn't think it was going to be this fast. I didn't think it was going to be this one-sided. I mean, this is quite a stomping. Luckily, of course, it's a best of 3. There are opportunities to try to adapt and improve. I'm not sure exactly, though, what DRX is doing wrong.
Yeah, and we definitely will dig into that, because that is the question of the hour for sure. Like what went wrong with the otherwise usually perfect DRX? But we have to talk about our key player. It's got to be Divai. Divai on the Killjoy, absolutely solid.
I mean, the numbers say it all. 3.6 KDA. There's not much else to talk about because he was collecting on a lot of frags. And you were asking what went wrong with DRX. Really, it's because you saw some rounds. Forsaken would slide right underneath Foxy9's nose, and this guy tends to go for the operator pick. He doesn't get to make use of that when Forsaken keeps going to your face. It's close, high-pressure situations. You can't reload when Forsaken's right there in front of you. And so many times, DRX gets flushed into corners where Divai is hiding. That's why he got that knife onto Mako. That's why Divai was holding up by the door in that one round, round 10 that I highlighted. It's a lot of these ideas that PRX is trying to execute on this map of Fracture. And I have to think this is also at the hands of Coach Alex. I mean, having something on this breach is like a very deliberate call. You saw the way that Orbital Strike went in, the Aftershock to flush them into that ultimate, that nuke as well. And it's just PRX having a solid game plan, but DRX didn't call a single timeout. So they didn't really, they were letting Stacks kind of try to adapt to it, which is really interesting.
I would expect we see a very different map too here. Definitely more timeouts. I think PRX kind of ran away with the show. But look, I don't think PRX is going to be deviating from the style that works. Clearly, they have done their homework. And DRX, look, they may have some very cool strats planned on these maps, but if PRX is going to activate first, it kind of doesn't matter what DRX has planned unless DRX has some sort of interception setup here or a shutdown setup where it's like, okay, we're going to first preempt some of these moves here from PRX, and then we could try to find maybe our own way to navigate to a victory from there.
Now, this is going to be a really interesting second map. This is DRX's pick, Vine. And I do also want to point out this is probably the first time I've seen in Pacific both teams pick attacker side for all of them. And, of course you would get that from DRX and PRX. Now, we have seen PRX on Bind, and historically, they're one of the greatest teams in Bind globally. And now they're going against DRX, who picked it, and for sure, they got something up their sleeves.
Yeah, you might expect that Reyna Harbor again. I expect Forsaken to be on a Harbor, and there it is.
Harbor lagi.
It is the same comp. Oh my
Anjing Harbor Reyna, cok.
Iya kan bener.
Here we go. Who wore it better?
Berarti kayak yang kemarin.
Well, here's the thing again, you know, coming back into it, DRX, like you were talking about, Tasteless, it's kind of like playing chess on the black side of the board. You're always trying to react, you don't have the tempo. But now, onto DRX,
Tapi emang gak ada Sentinel sih.
surely this is something that they're
Harusnya
something that they
Bayern
studied
sama
from
Split
PRX's
tuh
game against RRQ. They might have some tricks up their sleeves.
Jarang ada Sentinel.
Now they have that double initiator
Control midnya
compared
gimana?
to the, you know, double controller without any
Control
sentinel.
midnya pakai smoke. Jadi kan kalau rank atas biasanya nungguin smoke, jadi nggak berani nembusin smoke. Biasanya gitu. Kalau kita kan mainnya sage ya, tembok sage. Kalau di rank, kalau ini pakai smoke aja udah. Lu lihat aja main di split gitu mulu dah. Di smoke, nggak ada yang berani masuk.
And this match does matter for both teams, even if they are the strongest right now. Pacific, the winner of today's match does get a competitive advantage going into the grand finals. Now we are ready to go into map 2 Bind, and we are so excited to watch this play out. Reyna back on the stage. We're gonna go.
Dia dari awal main Valorant mainnya di VCT Jepang anjir.
Oh iya.
Iya jadinya dapat dari situ.
Thank you guys on the desk once again for that good breakdown, and we are moving into, of course, Bind with Reyna and all sorts of fun stuff as we have seen before.
Yes, we have seen it, but we all figured that was just because it was the last match of the round robin, and they were just kind of, you know, testing what they could do, you know, against RRQ. I mean, RRQ is a great team, so I think PRX just kind of testing waters, and then it turns out, no, this is the comp on Bind. I mean,
terakhir tuh pas lawan DRX, PRX tuh map keduanya apa ya? Gue lupa deh. Kan map pertama tuh ini ya. Oh, Split. Oh iya, Split.
And also,
ini kalau DRX yang menang, mapnya apa abis ini?
Obviously, if you win, you get a massive advantage. You get both bands. And you get to choose whether you pick first or not in that best of 5 in the grand finals. And of course, you only have to play that one.
Kalau mau melihat normal agent, lihatlah kiri. Kalau mau lihat agent yang asal, jago cuy.
They looked pretty weak in that first one. I think it was just PRX kind of rolling over them. So hoping that DRX can kind of wake up here in the second map on their map choice of Bind. And if they have an answer for what PRX have brought in with the cool new compositions and stuff like that. And
gue liat pro player tuh keren dah, nyemok dirinya biar nggak ketahuan Sky aja, keren banget gitu.
T1 on this map as well. T1 the first team to pick it. So here we do go. The push comes in. The dagger is good. And meanwhile, Jing just gonna light up Foxy 9 and lamps.
Well then. That's an explosive. They haven't quite cleared the site, and that's going to start to bite them. Buzz still alive. They're trying to swarm him.
Oh, nice.
Oh, but something's able to get that first shot onto Buzz through the box, and that's really going to open up this site now. Harbor Wall's still available. Only Mako here, and he's only got a classic. Not much of a chance for him, but let's see if he can clutch it out. Or
Jadi itu atas. Ya, cuma dapat berapa itu?
Mako taking it slow.
I mean, they're even inching, Forsaken forward. PRX making sure they have every advantage in that 3v1. And an explosive start to the round. Now, let's talk about the comps just a bit as we go through the second round. DRX, they've changed it up as well, right? They bring out Buzz on the KO, and Foxy 9 moves over to the Raze.
Biasanya main Jetris dah kalau nggak salah. Atau di split itu ya?
Oh, di split. In a pistol, I mean, if the Reyna starts to heal off and get that, you know, extra super armor, I mean, what can you do?
Kayaknya KO-nya specific pick day ini.
Something's like, oh god, they caught me playing Reyna on the stage again. Yeah, it's a fun time.
Kayaknya.
And that one shot in the box.
Kalau ada ulti kan
that wasn't even like on the edge. That was like straight through the middle as well. He knew he was really low. He was just able to land that one. As now he's just gonna light them up as they try to push out a hookah, and they're met with a Spectre.
Well, that is site opened up. Of course, I mean, yes, you expect PRX to win it, but not in this speed, this fast. Taking, you know, almost no damage to buy the only one who took damage. I just, yes, Jing lost 4, you know, HP on his armor.
Oh
no!
Yeah, someone's gonna post that over here with armor. Yeah, the caster's got a rob. Jing lost some armor too. I'm like, okay. But yeah, here's the thing. I mean, Devi only has a ghost as well, so PRX, they can even sacrifice one person if they want to try to secure extra ult points. And they're going to try to. Something wants that ult. A great flash. But he somehow still gets all of them.
Yeah, the spray too good.
But he's still dismissive.
He's just bouncing around him. He's trying to pull his gun out. He's like, yeah, I'll just let Forsaken get the job done. I don't care. Something's just having a great time. It's very apparent to all of us. And PRX start off, and something already has his ultimate ability.
Yeah, I mean, Empress ready to go. I mean, with that double kill,
gue juga bingung kalau pakai Rena tuh ultinya kapan dipakai, coy.
Was the ult. Now he can afford to go with that half armor and still feel confident as ever.
Ultinya Rena tuh kalau
he opens his eyes, he's like, oh.
Kalau lu abis ngekill ini gak sih?
Everyone's just watching.
Apa namanya?
No one's coming to support
Makin lama gak sih abis ngekill?
They're all laughing as this is happening.
Iya, reset. Kalau abis ngekill reset.
PRX will have fun. And that is a guarantee. It's always fun to watch them do this. Just a lot of people didn't expect it to be like this against DRX so far. It's DRX, only 5 rounds in the contest in total. We have just made our way on this map. So now DRX, they really got to strike back here.
Ini masih di region kan?
Nah ini loncat-loncat kayak gitu gimana sih, Jak? Gue nggak bisa dah.
Pakai crouch ya sih?
Iya, dia loncat. Kayaknya pakai crouch deh. Pokoknya nggak ada suara gitu aja.
Something was just hitting headshots through smokes all day long. And so you can tell DRX are not trying to hold the obvious angles.
Ini VCT masih region kan? Region doang, belum gitu.
Iya,
Asia. Got RB positioned right in front of that entrance as well. They're trying to avoid the smoke shots for the time being. Just wait until PRX is forced to come into the site.
They do have a nice setup with the Harbor and the KO over here on the A, but once again, Jing gets into Lamps pretty much for free, as they're just kind of letting him. RB gonna line up too, as they try to make their way through smokes.
Jing heard the drop, he's waiting for someone to check him, but no one is, but he still gets the kill with the peek.
Yeah.
Same time though, RB just holding down the site by himself, and Jing's only got a judge, so kind of a rough spot for him. Might have to rely on something to land these longer angle shots. There's not a lot of time in this round either.
Yeah, there's not much you can do here. Yeah, might as well save the Vandal. And Jing, I mean, Jing could keep the judge. It's not the end of the world for a raise here on Bind. Lots of areas you can take easily with that weapon.
Maju Jing. Maju Jing.
They get the info he's in there, but nobody is going to.
Dia nggak ada duit juga. Ada nggak sih? Nggak tahu gua.
Ada, Cok.
Ada ya harusnya.
Kalau nggak nge-save mah ada.
Something not going to use the Empress, and just take a look at how RB was able to hold down the
apaan itu kill dulunya?
Good angles, good focus from RB. Again, one of those players that when he's got such a high peak, and of course his flexibility, his versatility is such a huge boon to DRX. But now PRX, they've got their own flex player in Forsaken who can play every single agent possible. So, that benefit, not really a singular advantage for DRX anymore.
Bird gets the info for DRX, not the same on the side of PRX. So just going to come in quick onto the B site, but Viper Saint comes down, and now Jing is just trying to jump above it and get out of there. As he finally will, and Mind Freak is the first one. He picks up first blood.
The shots through the smoke again. I mean, this is something that worked so well for PRX. You have to watch out for these shots. They will check every single possible angle before they go into the site.
Pas RRQ lawan PRX kemarin, through smoke-nya berapa kali anjir itu?
Oh, they want to try to push elbow.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they're trying to deny as much information as possible. Mako will return the favor, but they have lost control of half of the site. Yeah, Mako correctly now trying to readjust over into Hookah. That way they still have a crossfire available.
Yeah, he's going to clear it out. The Reckoning comes down already defensively. Foxy9 picks up that first headshot. And now they're...
Oh, yang multi
DRX. They do have total control, but surrounding them. Stacks and Mako have that crossfire that you mentioned. Device still over there in main. As Jing comes in, opens up the site now. He's got the showstopper, but he gets shot in the back. As Devi, though, going to pick up 2. He's got solo health, just 6, and that's a great out from RB. Picks up the round just barely for DRX.
A very close round. I mean, PRX, they tried their best, right? The one way possible was to try to find a way to re-enter site, and Devi sets it up with the flash into 2. During that timing, Jing was able to creep up with the judge, but great hold initially from Mako and Foxy9.
Devi is insane. The way he resets himself, he knows exactly where everybody is. It feels like his mind is just so large. He can hold all of this information, and he knows exactly where to peak at the right time. Not to mention that he's hitting the shots very accurately, very precisely when he does look for those peaks. So really good stuff. Seems like Devi is really on his game today.
I mean, he was the top scorer in that first map as well, continuing that trend here for PRX. Now a double split set up for that A site once again. And again, the logic behind the Reyna, I get, right? You've got a confident aimer like something, and Harbor is currently in the meta. Those Leers are actually going to work out quite well against the util that comes out.
Judge juga aus Judge.
There's the Leer.
The Leer is big, and the spray from Foxy is good, but Devi gonna lock him down through the wall as well. And this time, PRX
Gak tahu tadi. Iya. Mati di mana gua nggak tahu.
Iya makanya.
See if they can hold it here 3v2.
Dia 3 lawan 2.
I mean, Forsaken currently has Reckoning as well.
Ini ya mix bay ya tadi ya.
Set up at a wider angle in showers with a Vandal, no Molly or over a strike, but if he does get one kill, that could very well be the round over for DRX.
Stax trying to make his way in. That's some information given over to Mind Freak. There's the Reckoning, and they're just holding it down. Stax alone on the side, but he picks up 2. Now the Seeker's coming out. He knows where Devi is.
Not just a flash.
Devi, though, just buying time, and it's behind the wall. Will it be enough for Stax? He tries to hold it as the wall goes down. Fortunate timing for him, and PRX will pick up a 3rd round.
An amazing round there for PRX. I mean, they were on stingers for that round, and not even everyone, not even the entire squad. I mean, initially, yes, Jig gets taken down, but the thing is, because of the Leer, the rest of the forces were able to take control
Emang gitu
of the
coy,
itself,
emang gitu coy.
and eventually,
Gue juga nontonnya anjir. Dari kemarin close mulu. Menang tapi kayak apa ya? Ya kayak gitu.
Tipis mulu kan?
Iya tipis mulu. Berget tuh kayak gue liatnya.
I love Devi's little celebration as well with the knife at the end. He's just like running at the spike. These guys are, regardless of the situation, always having a great time. As this time it's PRX who are on.
Nggak PRX kalau nggak troll.
Not really spending too much. And still holding on to much of the ultimates. I mean, something's had Empress now for essentially 3 rounds in a row. Just waiting for the right time to go for it. Being pushing showers alone with the dry peak, he does do a bit of damage, but gotta be careful, especially with DRX on the eco, to do stuff like that.
Yeah, but here's the thing is that PRX, I mean, they control showers, they control A short, they take the orb as well. A nice swing out from RB, though.
Down you go. And he's gonna get the 1. Mind Freak gets a kill with his orbital strike, and this A-site is theirs. Down will go the spike.
Aron.
Have Mako up in heaven already, but
ace.
And he will charge on in. They know where Stax should be.
Oh, they're setting him up for the ace.
Oh God.
Stax just hiding as quietly as possible. Oh no! Ace denied and more kills for Stax.
And at this point, you could probably just pick up a rifle and run.
Yeah, I mean, you got to take what you can get. I mean, thank you for greeting for the ace of Stax.
Yep. There's having fun, and then there's
sometimes
having a little bit too much fun. I mean, it's not the biggest detriment, but obviously.
Udah dong.
Udah
dong. Mau mati berapa dong?
And a weapon to Stax, who, yeah, now they're trying to grab it back here, but no time, and they're not going to peek at a hookah. So, there you go. PRX pick up a 4th round. The round is still theirs, regardless of the fun being had. They still are in a dominant position.
Gue lebih enjoy
streaming nonton. You know, in his peak form today, out of all these, he's been regaining it slowly but surely. But if it hits the absolute top peak, I don't know. This is looking dangerous for DRX. Now, we are still pretty early on, and I was going to say, surely a timeout comes out because you got to have a better answer for showers. Currently, DRX's plan is give up showers. We'll check for B-Long with the Sky Util. That's just been the meta for Vine for as long as we can remember. And then we'll hold on to Truck and U-Haul and Lamps. However, the way that PRX is playing, sure, first of all, they have the Jing on the raise. But then on top of that, they don't really have any interest in pushing into U-Haul unless it's an eco, right? They'll happily just plant and get out because they're always controlling showers. DRX has to respond to that type of default in some way or another.
Akankah
And
2-5?
I think Termi eventually was just like, well,
Semoganya begitu ya.
I didn't call a timeout on the first map.
Saya
and they
berharapnya
just
sih begitu.
lost, what was it, 6 rounds in a row after the half. So I got to call it early here. They're obviously not readjusting. PRX still feels like they're in total control. So I like the timing for Termi to finally call the timeout.
Kalau 2-0 berarti komposisi pemainnya udah bener ini.
He's not really a coach that shows too much emotion, but he's talking really fast. He's weaving around with his arms. He's got a lot to say, and I think you need to have a lot to say for DRX in this position because they're kind of getting bodied. We'll see if they can turn it around now.
Oh enggak. Mau loncat.
Once again.
So DRX, they try to check for showers, and something gets a kill as well. But meanwhile, right after their timeout, what does PRX do? They charge into showers with the guiding light and the blast packs. I mean, this is PRX reading what DRX is thinking here after the timeout.
Exactly. It's almost like they're like, we know exactly what you're going to take this timeout for, and we are going to challenge it immediately. It's like, we will forcibly take away your little edge you were trying to get from that timeout. It is so oppressive. And something, of course, with the dry beak and a hookah, he just gets the headshot. I mean, what are you going to do about that?
What is this?
Mako,
I mean, Mako is just trying to create a curveball there to hide in plain sight right outside of the smokes to catch them off guard, because otherwise they would have just had to give up the site for free, but Devi just picks them off.
And now DRX are like, well, I guess we just have to run again. They're just going to try to save here. PRX, they didn't even really have to use much. I mean, in terms of utility, it's some of your basic abilities. They get a couple of headshots on the entry. They take A essentially for free. So, nothing lost and a lot gained here on the side of PRX. As now you can see they're on the chase as well. They know, okay, we're in a really good spot in this map. Let's try to take away some extra guns as the wraparound begins.
Yeah, I mean, Mind Freak's 1 point away from his ultimate. Buzz is spotted. Mind Freak too far to pick up on that, but something is on the loose again. They are tightening. They know exactly where Buzz was.
Nice.
Oh, man. This is getting rough, William. They're taking out both guns from Buzz.
Udah temenan, santuy.
Fellow teammate there. And something still...
Kayak AE
He
anjir.
just doesn't have a reason to use it. He's like, well, we're just winning so hard that I guess I'll just hold on to it for when we're in trouble.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, this is one of those times where it doesn't feel bad, you know, that the ult is just sitting there, because there's literally no use for it. I mean, that's one of those emergency button ultimates, and they have not been in an emergency this entire first half.
Yeah, and you see once again the defense on A is not great, right? The entry very clean from PRX, throw in a flash, you know, peek through the wall and pick up the kills. I mean, Devi clean once again, and it just feels like DRX are not handling this defense very well on the A site, as you put very succinctly, William. So you see that once again, PRX are just going to continue to attack it as here comes Jing, but immediately it's taken off by Mako.
Oh, masih Eri.
Mako does pick up a Vandal. He immediately goes down, but RB is there. RB's actually been able to get out of the site safely, and the spike is still marooned. The TP's come through as well. Stax has a rifle in showers.
They're going to take out the Seeker. Something is going to get shot in the back as Buzz takes both out from behind. And finally, DRX back on the board with a big thrifty in round 8.
Oh, dia ulti.
Uh-oh.
Kok dia ulti?
That was not
Kok dia ulti?
intended. I just looked over at the stage, and Buzz is just grabbing the back of his head. It has to have been a misclick. Whatever the reasoning, a mistake was made. Stax is trying to laugh and calm him down on stage right now, but... telling him it's okay. Oh boy. I mean, you have to recover from that when a mistake happens.
Kecewa.
You still have plenty of ultimates.
Menang tapi kecewa gitu, Bang.
Yeah, he's trying to make it a little bit harder on the team. He's really just trying to limit tests a little bit, you know?
Kayaknya pencetannya di mouse tuh, kayaknya tuh.
I mean, hey, you're playing up against Arena anyway. She doesn't really use her skills, right? It's just an angel anyway.
Sure. Well, yeah,
Terus
that's one of the
main
things
ke
that,
tolol
we get the replay, the crowd laughs. It's a funny moment, but for Buzz,
Gue lihat ya, emang udah halftime. Gue lihat belum.
5-3.
Pretty good day so far.
Baru 5-3.
He doesn't get too affected by that, and we can just continue on and have a close match here.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, if you lose this map and this match, obviously that's a moment that haunts you. But if you win, forget it and move on. And DRX, the team, trying to do that alongside Buzz.
Grenade to the back. They're going to put Stax and Foxy in a rough spot, but wall goes up, and Foxy's just going to run into Hookah. Something is there. And we'll take him down, but not before Foxy gets that kill. Out comes Stax, picks up one, but is immediately traded back.
Yeah, but they even it out to a 3v3. The spike not planted just yet, and Buzz playing to just buy time. The Reckoning comes in as well.
Tiga-tiga di situ
DRX is in
katanya.
a good position.
Oh, Buzz, fantastic angle taken as RB comes in immediately to help him out, and a fantastic stop on the plant there from DRX. And they are in this map to win it.
An amazing response here from DRX on that defense. I mean, PRX looked like they might be running away with it, but that's why I wanted to remind everyone a couple rounds ago what the score was.
Udah 8 lagi ulti ortnya.
On the side of PRX, but it was still anybody's first half, and DRX is still putting up a great fight.
Yeah, absolutely. It does feel like DRX, you know, they're able to forget some of the mistakes. They use a couple of ultimates. Their hold on B was very clean. And now they're in a really good spot, actually, in this one. So let's see if they can get it back. The Empress also used by something, finally. So he's not going to hold on to that. He's got no ult charge at this moment. Probably not going to get it by the end of the map unless it pops off here. Or I should say end of the half. As he will probably get it in this map once again. As he is still looking to peek into Hookah while the rest of the team is looking to push short again.
Okay, so the goal here is just to entry with Jing, hold on to U-Haul, and then the idea is for something to try to get a pick on the rotate, but no one is taking that risk on DRX.
It's a lot of water walls. Can't really see much.
Yeah, but look at DRX, right? Now that they have control of showers, they can just hold on to the site. They do not have to rush this defense. They can always retake from both angles.
Ulti itunya enak
Now
banget.
PRX in a rough spot. They're like, well, we kind of just have to peek them here. As something is going to get that big peek in. RB gets one.
They're trying to get into the teleporter, and they will succeed in doing so. Defy survives on his own, and something now watching from elbow.
Spike udah.
He's going to spot Foxy 9, and even if he doesn't get the kill immediately, he can relay that to his team or making their way onto the side. And Jink's going to take his head off immediately as Foxy 9 is trying to buy time for his team.
And hold on, let's just see how this round plays out. Buzz not able to get a kill, but you know how you can tell that this is a match between two absolute top-tier teams. Is that Stax also read that this was a possibility. He stayed in B site. He knew that we have them trapped in lamps. They have the possibility to rotate. Let's see if someone lurks over here. Stax's read was correct. It's just that something wins that duel, opens up B site for the rest of PRX.
Yeah. And that's where, you know, something was, he was playing the breach on Fracture, that's kind of his role, but immediately he steps back into the duelist role. He's playing Arena of all things, and he's just getting some of those entry kills, some of those lurk kills that are really pushing the team over the edge. Like, it's still a close map, but it feels like the something factor is making a big difference here, especially at the latter half of this first half.
See what PRX can do. I mean, you look at this. Just saying the Cascade without an extra flash, without someone pushing off of it. I mean, this just, you know, something just says, okay, well, let's duel. You want a duel? I'll give it to you. I mean, he's confident.
Yeah. He is the duelist, after all. And you see him just peeking out, trying to catch the Harbor RB as he's putting up that wall. Not meant to be, as DRX are really playing on their hind legs, just waiting. Once again, waiting and watching, trying to stop the push from PRX.
Just trying to fish for this Harbor location, but this has allowed something to get deep into the site. I don't know if DRX is aware of this. They have no idea.
Oh God, something. He just opens up the back of the site so well as Mako, still in lamps, still with the judge, picks up two, and they're not able to take him down. Foxy 9 as well, holding down the fort as this spike is down, and PRX in a pretty good spot, but Mako now still with the judge and lamps. We'll have to see what he can do as Forsaken takes out Stax. Mako at least able to pick up a rifle, but he's all alone.
Oh, and look at Devi rotating very quickly, and then Forsaken repositioning as well. The post plant continues to be perfectly played by PRX. I mean, he has no idea that Forsaken's already through.
Once again, excellently done on the entry from PRX. Really just comes down to something sneaking through short and going straight through the middle, through the heart of A site.
Yeah, a great entry setup. And then actually right there, Mindfreak trying to keep the distance knowing it was a judge, but Mako still gets an excellent kill. But right here, because they knew that Devi was in A short and Mako tried to push out, reads that Devi rotating. He thinks they're both in showers, he's distracted. and Forsaken can just get him from the back.
And Mako is back on the judge as he has his pit. He says, okay, no more of the A short shenanigans. I've had enough. I'm using my ultimate. I've got a judge. You're not entering through here.
Okay, but if they want to keep that pit up, RB cannot let anyone through from showers. You just simply cannot let this happen. Because if it does happen, if something gets in like this, that pit is now in danger. It can be pinched at any time.
Yeah, and they are looking to pinch right now. We got the one way at least.
RB doesn't know. RB doesn't know that something's already through.
Oh, well, he's about to get a rude awakening if that is the case, as here comes something on the peak. Oh, RB's in so much trouble. There it is, the instant headshot. As something opens up the site, and now Mako's like, oh, crap.
Yeah, I mean, now they have no reason to even touch the pit.
Yeah.
They can just ignore it.
Cool pit, bro.
Yeah. I mean, we'll let you have the pit. We'll take the site.
Ayo, Mako ngapain?
And this post plan is just, I mean, what do? Obviously, you have to try to
Apa? Dia model apa gitu kata
PRX.
PRX.
It's surrounded.
Udah pakai judge ya.
PRX's favor as well. Harbor high
Mau
tide
keluar
coming
nggak
up.
bisa. Oh, bisa deh.
Mako is going to sneak into lamps. We'll see if that works for him, but look at this. Something in the corner. I'm sure they have no idea he's there as well, as he is holding it down. Gets the 2K. Stacks is desperate to try to hold on to this one, as now we got the orbital strike to come in, but at least it is going to be Stacks getting that last one. Mindfreak buying time. Is there enough to go for the plant? The spray is not there, but Mindfreak gets the one guy into showers and picks up the 2K and holds on to the site. PRX will enjoy an 8th round in their favor.
An absolute dominant performance in the first half from PRX, and they even won map 1-13-5. That is not a scoreline we've seen from PRX up against DRX in their past matches. While they have taken maps before, not in this fashion. Something is just insane. I mean, there's no other way to put it.
Yeah. And DRX, they are really good, right? Like, their retake was almost good enough. They got so close, right? Like, Stacks and the rest of the team pushing in, picking off. They had to clear so many angles, and yet they were almost able to do it still. And yet, it wasn't good enough.
I mean, this might be the day. I mean, we don't want to get ahead of ourselves, but it is looking like it. And here's the thing. We've had Reyna picks at the top level of competition before, but it was mostly a scenario of, well, this player can't really play anything else on this map, so they just kind of have to. But here's the thing. I mean, you could very well put Jet in this composition and it still works as a double duelist. There's no problem with that. This is an intentional choice from PRX, given the current meta with the Harbors and Vipers running amok here on Mine. And something is piloting that Reyna to perfection.
Yeah, he really turned this team around. We've talked about it so many times, but the addition of one player who can do this and is even flexible enough to not only, you know, play all these different kinds of duelists, but also to even jump onto initiators and other tough from time to time. What?
That is the vibe.
Yes, it is.
That is the vibe.
Oh, itu si ini ya, si Nick ya.
That's one hell of an angle for the lens to do its work.
Yeah. DRX, the halftime, it's a bit of a timeout as well. You get a little breather for both teams, and hopefully Termi, I mean, they're holding on to one timeout as well, and maybe, you know, they can settle down, pick up a pistol round. You essentially have to, but now at least PRX are not attacking. Maybe you can slow the game down. Maybe you can force PRX to play your game.
Orang Rusia kebanyakan kayak
set
gitu.
up a bunch of your, you know, walls and do the pizza slices and all that cool stuff. There's no gecko, of course, but you can still make it happen with two agent picks. And maybe, just maybe, DRX
Apalagi
can
pas
pull
nanti
this back
kakek-kakek
into
aja.
their favor.
There's a possibility, but right now the read is there from PRX that the focus is going to be on B side, at least initially in this round. I mean, it's just Forsaken watching for the Viper lurk by Lambs. They're already pushed out before the 0 point even lands.
Yeah, it's very PRX. And DRX, again, they're like, okay, well, we're just not going to fight you.
Yeah, but here's the thing. They have no idea how many exactly pushed out, right? And so now they have to slowly recheck it. That's about 20, 25 seconds shaved off the clock already. And PRX, they have no reason to move either. They have no reason to rotate.
Yeah, you're essentially starting from information 0 again. And let's see how it goes. PRX now looking to push again, this time out of Fuka. As the rest of DRX are looking to push through main, they might get flanked here.
Oh, they will, but here's the thing, does Mako read it?
Mako's about to see it, if not.
Finds one.
Yeah, he gets the one and straight it back, and immediately they charge onto the site. They know everybody else should be in hookah here as something gets the one. They push on in. The spam is not good enough as Buzz will take it out, but Jing and Forsaken traded out here. We do have the plant coming down from RB.
The Ghost picked up as well. They're so scratched up on the side of DRX. Can they hold on to this post plant? They are not in a good position.
They really are not. They got to take some heads out. Otherwise, I think this retake should come in from PRX. As Forsaken, he lands the first one on RB. The right click is not there. But Fox's information given away.
Nice.
And there it is. Forsaken with the 3K and holds down the pistol round for PRX.
9-4, jauh.
A 9-4 lead. And now going into the second round of the half, the big question is DRX, do you force buy? I mean, it's an iffy round differential, right? It's not so one-sided that you think there's no hope, but at the same time, the momentum is absolutely in PRX's favor.
See this last moment. They know exactly where Foxy9 is, so Forsaken.
Gua katain langsung di atas anjir Jason.
He's pretty pumped, right? I mean, and you should be as PRX. You are about to potentially 2-0 DRX in under 2 hours. You're just like sweeping him, you know? It's not that close. The first map was 13-5. Now it's 9-4.
I mean, they've been told their entire career in Valorant that W Gaming is great until it meets DRX. And today they're trying to prove everybody wrong that they can speedrun DRX as well.
And they certainly are. This is a speedrun. This is DRX any % right now. And okay, trying to push through the wall here. Jing gets in a little bit of trouble, but something still holding down the fort. Now he's pushing! The Reyna gameplay is out of control! As Lamps is totally cleaned up. It's a flawless, not a single point of damage given over to PRX. Not even one. I checked all the armor this time, okay?
Not even one. All right. I mean, you know what the annoying thing about Reyna as someone who wants to break down the game is it's so hard to tell how much of this is actually using the agent so well versus just getting kills, right? I mean, because the agent, revolves around getting kills. I mean, your entire kit is based on getting that initial kill. But I guess if you're something, that's a guaranteed, and then you can work off of the utility.
Yeah, it certainly helps when something is piloting it. He's got a judge against an eco, and it's just kind of going to town. So now, DRX, this is pretty much crunch time. Like, if you can't win this round, say goodbye to your chances of getting all of those benefits from winning this upper bracket finals. Something's position is going to be given away. The judge is not good enough this time. Mako going to line that up and get the kill. DRX clean onto the B site.
All right, PRX, the initial two members, sure Forsaken was trapped, but Jing kind of rushing in, trying to flood the site because they don't have as strong firepower here on that side of PRX. And now the retake
Syukurin dulu pacar minta bulu jembut buat coli. What the fuck?
Economic damage is possible.
There's just so much stuff that's being thrown in their face. A poison orb, the cascade. You've got like
Siapa yang
the
coli pakai
toxic
bulu
screen was up
jembut
there for a
aja?
little bit.
You just can't get through here. That door, for all intents and purposes, the door is closed.
Well,
Hell no.
they're gonna try the door once again, but it's not gonna work out for them, and they just elect to not give anything extra over to DRX. Have one Vandal on Forsaken, so they're just gonna run away with that.
Mind Freak's gonna save because he's got the full armor, even if it's just a Spectre. Okay, just trying to snowball the econ as much as possible.
Pretty cool.
Yeah, this is a purely mathematical choice, right? Because if it's just a Spectre and half armor or less, oftentimes you would say, well, why not just die to the spike, make sure you get a couple hundred extra creds, then go into the next round and you're going to buy the rifle anyway. But if you have full armor, that's, 1,000 creds versus only 600 on the half armor, so mathematically he comes out on top.
And now Alex is going to take this opportunity to give a timeout, little break, little breather to his team. They did lose the bonus, but I think that's totally fine. DRX though pretty clean on their entry, and again, this is kind of that round where, as Alex, you're saying, okay, well we've still got a couple of timeouts. Let's just kind of take the wind out of their sails the second they even get one round, and try to break it down and really try to take the next one so we don't even give them a slight chance.
Yeah, absolutely. And this is often a good timing just because you're gonna have generally a twist on your defaults in the first couple rounds, right? It's a pistol, then you have the absolute gun advantage, then it's a bonus. So now, I mean, DRX is still left wondering, okay, what is the go-to default from Alex here on defense?
Anjir, Alex.
Oh God, rein him in. That's what Alex has to do. That's been the job he's given, and let me tell you, it is not a job I think a lot of people envy. It is a tough one, but he's doing a great job of it today.
It was such a funny sign because all the players had the same exact face as well. It's like 5 minions of Alex. That was so cool. Something now has Empress and an operator, so this is going to be, you know, he held on to the judge for a couple of rounds in a row, ends up dying in the last one and says, well, now's my time to shine and op some people down.
Forsaken's just checking close on the Cascade. He just doesn't want to give up that space for free. He knows that the Cascade doesn't actually stop anything.
He's going to try to basically put up everything he can. As the angle is being checked, Mind Freak not able to stop them on the entry here. As the Cove goes up as well, DRX once again clean on their entry, this time onto the A site.
Well, and now with the operator, I mean, this is a round where PRX has to start considering saving. I mean, unless Devi or Jing get the first kill to even the numbers, which they will not. I mean, this is all signs point to a save. Yeah, you gotta run away. I don't believe DRX is quite aware of the operator either.
Yeah.
So probably best to just kind of hide that info away from DRX. Now, just because it's something playing that Reyna, I don't mind the operator because let's just assume he's gonna get the first kill because he always will. Then he can dismiss out, so it still does its job. And I mean, this off it's hard to read, it's hard to expect because you normally don't see the Reyna piloting the off, right? I mean, that's just not a common thing. You generally just don't see Reynas at this level of play anyway. So we'll see. We'll be able to tell in the pre-round setup here from DRX if they suspect that an operator is in play just because of the save here.
Foxy pushes through with the blast pack. He enters so cleanly, picks up those 2 headshots, also gets the one here in short on the Jake, expecting one guy to rotate. So Foxy 9 is really trying to essentially step up to the same plate that Something is at and carry the team. He's doing a pretty good job. Picks up that showstopper. We'll see what he can do in this round.
Okay, they are looking to check B main, but the 0 point's going to hit him, so he's going to have to back off. Okay, he doesn't get tagged by it, though. So still taking a very aggressive position just in the middle of the site.
Yeah. So rough, too, to play this operator against a Harbor on both sides. I mean, there's going to be so many walls in your face. Jing sitting in hookah, just holding down the fort by himself. Blast bang is not good, but he's still able to land that shot. And Something is hopping people down. It is a flawless in round 17.
I don't even know. If I had to give an MVP to that round, I could not possibly choose, because here's the crazy thing, is that DRX had all the information they needed in window. They knew that there was one person on the left corner, and then the shots on the boombot were coming from the right. So you see paint shells and snakebite, and Jing survives all of it, dodges all of it, gets 2 kills. Meanwhile, Something gets killed, and then he dismisses forward through the high tide to check if the rest of DRX has made it into the site. He gives vision. I mean, he is playing this Reyna as best as you can.
It's Initiator Reyna at this point. He's like getting in, he's getting the information, calling it to his team. It's kind of insane what this player can do at the highest level of Reyna play. As you mentioned, we don't see it all the time, as now we got DRX, or rather PRX, pushing out of a short and trying to get in behind Mako.
Yeah, they're there. They have no idea that this push could be here this quickly. Showstopper's coming in, but Jing just closes the gap to force that he has to die to his own as well. Forsaken gets the flank.
Yeah, Mako's totally down. He's out of the fight. And now DRX are like, well, we might as well teleport out because our entire plan on B is just gone. Here's Something now.
Here.
Tries to take that shot through the wall, not gonna happen, but Forsaken is on the site and he lines up 3 in a row, picks up the 4K, and PRX are 1 round away from 2-0ing DRX.
This is upgraded PRX. There should be zero doubts about that anymore because that rotation, the way they play the map, it is not just aggression, the way they slow down the flank. Forsaken gets the kill, and then Reyna is holding elbow, but in a position where something can rotate quicker to A site. That gives time. He fires the op shot to distract them. Meanwhile, Forsaken can hide right in front of the showers. I mean, the map control is immaculate from PRX.
Yeah, it's so oppressive, like, how do you even deal with this, even as DRX, and Termi waited literally until the last moment. The 12th round is picked up by PRX. He calls their second timeout. He did call one earlier on, and, you know, it kind of had middling success. And this is going to be their last chance to try to pull it back and win 6 rounds in a row. That doesn't seem remotely possible at this point, William. I don't see how DRX can come back against a team that's playing this well.
Yeah, I mean, PRX is just feeling it. And the biggest thing is it's not just something, I mean, we're focusing on him because of the Reyna play, but the way that Forsaken is using his usual moving around the map, Devi has just been popping off the entire series. Jing, again on that raise, he's always been trustworthy on the raise, but he's been so good. And then Mind Freak is back in peak condition. I mean, this is the best PRX we've seen in a long time.
Yeah, it's pretty insane. You know, a lot of us predicted the PRX today, but I wasn't predicting it to be this one-sided. Let's see how this goes as Jing is just in their face immediately. The showstopper. Somehow, yeah. Even with his own rocket kind of getting that AoE onto him. Does not matter, and now DRX are down a member.
Launching smoke. I mean, even luck is not on DRX's side. Foxy9 dies to his own showstopper the round before, and Jing says, I get to survive with 1 HP. Goes back and gets the heal up. He's dodged. Yep.
Look
at this. They do not suspect this. Mantap,
udah habis.
Spike down.
Habis udah.
Oh God, they are just.
I mean, look at the spread on the map.
What do you even say? They're just destroying them.
They're stomping DRX. This is not something I have ever had to say casting DRX in Korea.
Wah, udah cok.
How about another flawless? Nope, not going to happen. Buzz will not let that happen. He's going to spray the body out of frustration. And he's going to get sortied for the final kill of the 2-0. PRX book their ticket directly to the grand finals here at VCT Pacific. They earn all those bonuses. And even more than that, perhaps, is the massive showing they have. They finally take down DRX here on a big stage. And in this fashion, they make it seem like they're tiers above DRX. I don't even know how they were able to pull that off. That was just a massive performance here in 2 maps in a row.
Absolute incredible performance from PRX. It took 5 times to meet in official VCT matches, and they finally get their first win against what used to be called PRX's kryptonite. W Gaming, it's great until it meets, you know, just textbook Valorant of DRX. And now with something in the mix, this is not the same PRX anymore. It is still W Gaming, but it's a very different color of it. And DRX for, I think the first time in a long time, falls down to lower bracket. I'm trying to remember if there was a lower bracket that one time. They lost initially. No, they eventually, I can't remember. I don't think so. I think this might be the first time they're in the lower bracket in terms of in a domestic league. Obviously, this is, you know, not just a Korean league anymore. It's VCT Pacific, but
yeah,
I mean, they haven't had to face this kind of trouble except at the international stage, except for at Masters and Champions.
And you can see there was so much drama in this map as well. We had the mistake ult from Buzz. We had something peeking people over and over and over again. And man, I don't even know how to feel as DRX is really going to have to reset as, of course, these guys are all friends and DRX will smile on stage in front of them, but that one's got to hurt for them. PRX trying to write their name on that first place on the trophy, and they might just be able to. We'll have to wait and see how it goes next week.
Yeah, this is absolutely incredible. Yeah, just double check, not entirely, but I think the first time DRX has ever fallen to a lower bracket here within a regional or domestic league, not on a international stage like Masters and Champions, and it's PRX who's able to send them down there. I mean, their rivals that they could
Ayolah,
never
juara lah, juara
overcome.
dunia lah,
PRX
PRX lah.
proving that them getting a higher placing than DRX at an international stage was not a fluke, right? Them getting to the grand finals of a Masters before DRX was not a fluke. They are here to prove themselves. They will be going to Changchun Stadium next weekend. On Sunday, they'll be waiting for the lower bracket winners. And guess what? They get to now have 2 map bans and their choice of whether they pick map or side first. I mean, that's a massive advantage, especially for this team who's been consistently banning Haven the entire time. They now get an extra ban.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's pretty insane. I mean, they put themselves now in a wonderful position
DRX,
in so many different ways. As you mentioned, quite literally in terms of the bans and your position, the seeding, all this great stuff. You get to choose your side, but also just the fact that they get the monkey off their back. They're like, we're just better than DRX now. They're like, no, we don't care about what's happened in the past. We don't have a 5-loss streak against DRX. No, we're just better. Because not only was it a win, it was a 13-5, 13-6 win, which is one of the most dominant we've had out of any best-of-3